Hello everyone, Kitslam here and welcome back to another video here on the channel. Today we're talking everything crayon carvings. I'm going to share my crayon carving collection with you guys and give you a few tips along the way. Welcome to the video and thank you for watching. Today we're going to go through a few different details where you can pick up some crayons that you could carve yourself, the tools that you will need to carve these crayons, and a variety of ways that you can display them yourself. So let's get going. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to move these aside for a moment or two just so I can show you guys the type of crayons that you will want to use when carving crayons yourself. Now, of course, you're more than welcome to carve on a regular size crayon, as you can see displayed here. This, of course, is yellow. If you go to a art or department store in your city, you should be able to find some large Crayola crayons. Now, these large crayons are fine, they work great, and I would absolutely encourage you starting on this particular size of crayon rather than this. However, the only issue that I have, or concern I have with this particular type of crayon is this writing. I just don't like it up there. It doesn't look like a traditional crayon. And so what I've done is I scoured my city and I went looking for crayons that are large that do in fact look like that. Now, I couldn't find it anywhere in my city. I live in Canada. I went to Michael's and all of the large department stores and I couldn't find anything. To find that specific type of crayon that I was looking for, I went onto Amazon and I found these. These are the Crayola crayons that are large and they come in a pack of 16, as you can tell. And I'm going to lift this open and you can see I've used a couple of these crayons. Some of them, when I ordered them, did come fractured, like this one and the blue and even the pink, so I was a little bit disappointed about that. Having said that, I just recently ordered some more large crayons from Crayola with the anticipation of doing a lot more of them this year. They are now labeling them as large crayons, like that, which is fine, and all of these came together. None of them were broken, none at all. So I got this pack of 16 that I'll use throughout this year, and I've got this pack of 16 and none of them were broken as well. So I will leave the link for these crayons in the description box below. If you guys want to get started, I would encourage you to do so. Of course, you don't need to go to Amazon. These are fine. These crayons work just fine. I just was hoping to get rid of that label if possible to make it look a little bit more professional for you guys. And I will be making a lot of these, like I said, and selling them and all of those things throughout the year. Okay, now let's talk tools. Essentially, to carve these crayons, I only use these two tools. I use an X-Acto knife, as you can tell here, and this little brush. And if I were to go into an elaborate tutorial, which this video is not, I will do a specific how to carve crayons tutorial in the future. But essentially, you're just removing the crayon shavings a little bit at a time, forming the shape that you desire, and using the brush to wipe it away and to remove any of the grooves that your knife, X-Acto knife or knife, has created along the way. So there's different ways that you can do this, and again, I'll talk a little bit more about that in a future video. If you guys are excited or looking forward to that, let me know in the comments and I'll get on that right away. So those are the tools that essentially you need to use, and again, you can find those in a local art store or even a department store. Certainly, you can find all of those tools. A quick interlude there, guys. I forgot to mention that I use acrylic paint like this here, which I also got from Michael's, to apply those little colors that you can see on some of the crayon carvings, like this red one here of the Pokeball. I do have a Pokeball. I forgot to include that one as well in the crayon collection, but that's okay. And you can see the crown up here on Boo. All of those colors are being used and applied with these small little brushes and these Liquitex acrylic paints. Now let's take a look at my actual collection here. So I'm going to zoom in the camera maybe a little bit further yet so we can get nice and close. And there we go. Okay, so here, this is not a crayon carving, so I'm going to move that one aside. And where did all of this start? This all started with my Mario mushroom carving, which you can see here. And after that we worked on, I think was King Boo, Toadstool, and Donkey Kong. I also have this Angry Birds collection, some of which are on my YouTube. Well, this Chuck is on my YouTube, and these two I carved last year at an art convention when I had a little bit of extra time. I just spent my time carving. And so eventually I'll probably make YouTube videos on those two. And over here at Halloween, I worked on this jack-o'-lantern, which is my favorite probably. I think he looks quite cute. So I really enjoy this pumpkin carving. And as you can tell, this one does not have the writing on top, which I just prefer. I think it looks great. And same with our Stormtrooper here. He is from our Amazon set of crayons, and he does not have that, and I think he looks very great, and I will eventually have a full Star Wars collection sitting here one day in the future. So that there is the Crayon Carving Collection. As you can tell, they are considerably smaller or larger than the standard crayon, but it's a great place to start. Now that's not to say that you can't carve on to the tip of a small crayon. In fact, I've done that and it does work. It's a little bit more challenging, of course. You can also even carve on the tip of a pencil, which has been done. There's a famous Russian artist who does this very, very well, and his work is exquisite. So I think it'd be really fun to eventually work in that direction. Starting with our large crayons, potentially exercising on some smaller crayons, and then maybe trying eventually one day on lead pencil itself. That there is the Crayon Carving Collection. I hope you guys enjoy that. Now let's talk a little bit about how these can be packaged. Okay, so I moved the crayons aside to show you specifically the cases that I use to display them in. So for example, this is a little glass case with a cork on top, which you can pull out and you can display them this way. And I think it looks really sharp, it keeps them safe, and it's a great way to display them. And these cases I bought at Michael's, which you can find again in North America certainly, as mentioned. And it is absolutely encouraged because these crayons are very, very fragile. In the past, I've definitely had some injuries along the way. That is a little crayon carving of the globe, which I will do again in the future. This is one of my boos, which he broke off. Unfortunately, that is not a king boo, but my first boo. And he also fell off, so you have to be very, very careful with these. They're quite fragile. So definitely encourage you to find some way to display them. Perhaps tubes like this could be found on Amazon. I haven't found them myself, to be honest, but I would encourage you to try to find a way to display them. And in fact, I found a way to display not only my Stormtrooper there, but my entire Crayon Carving Collection in this display case. And let me just zoom out a little bit here so you can see the whole thing. And there you go, that is the entire collection. This display case I also purchased at Michael's. And it's just a glass enclosure with a little bit of space, probably with about 1.5 inch here gap or so that you can insert different items that you want to display. And with the help of a friend who has some automatic tools, they just drill little holes into this little wood that I inserted down into the glass case, and now they can fit inside without too much movement. And this can be displayed at the artist alleyways that I'll be doing this year, and I'll be selling these on my Etsy page as well. And just let me grab this here and show you.
It's not the greatest angle, but at least you can see that this can be displayed. Okay, there we go.
Then it can sit on a desk like so, and it can be displayed for everyone in the world to see, just like that. That there is the entire collection on display. I think it looks quite good. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. If you guys have any suggestions for future crayon carvings, leave those in the comments as well. And if you'd like to see more tutorials specifically on how to carve certain characters, let me know that as well. My name is Kitslam. I want to thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.